kids, Grandma, are smarter than I am. Both of
Well, it
them.
makes me feel good that I'm not the only one that can't make the damn thing.
I know. Well, both my kids are good in school, too.
Until it got broke, I worked every day a couple hours with the thing trying to figure out how you got it to go onto Facebook or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
I never did anything on it. And I couldn't get anything on it to tell anybody anything. And I'd sit here and play with it. Broke games. And I couldn't make it work for me to play solitaire. It would not.
Oh, you love solitaire.
It would not do solitaire for me at all. David picked it up and, oh boy, it works good. It doesn't well. I said, oh, you smart ass.
Grandma.
And I put it in the case and zip it shut. Then the next time I take it out, it'd be dead, and it wouldn't be any battery, and I'd have to plug it in. So that's how come I had left the charger plugged in.
Uh-huh.
It's because every time I wanted to use it, I had to plug it in. And leave it for an hour until it build up enough for I could maybe play one game of something. And try to talk to the owner or whatever. And that one morning, it stayed blank all the time. And I thought, well, that's weird because it's always turned on after I plug it in. So I moved the chair, and somebody had taken the charger. But here we laid this little plug on the floor. I mean, you know what? One of those, I don't know what you call them. One of these things that just stick in here.
The electric.
The electric part of it.
Yeah.
One of them was missing on the plug. But the plug was gone. I thought, well, why would somebody... That's part of it, I'm sure it is. Well, I moved the stuff out of the chair, and sure enough, they'd hid the charger in the blankets. Whoever broke it hid the charger.
Naughty.
And Miranda took it to see if she couldn't find the part for it. She says, "Oh, Grandma, I know we can get it over on TV or on the iPad." She said, "I know we can get one." And she hasn't been back with it. So I don't know, maybe I've lost it with her. I have all the rest of it, but I don't have the part that got broke.
Grandma, tell Artie how you met Grandpa.
Hmm?
Tell Artie how you met Grandpa.
How I met Grandpa. Well, you remember ever meeting my cousin Lyle Malone? He used to come up to the Uncle Ben's for family reunion. He was a little short, stubby guy. I mean short. Mm-hmm. And my husband, who was way tall, who was called Mutton Jeff. They decided when they were 16, weren't going back to school, they were going to go cowboying. So they got their cowboy deal. They found a job to herd some cattle or some horses, wild horses.
Mm-hmm.
From
Jarbidge. Wasn't it Jarbidge?
Well, they went to Garbage, but where did they pick those horses up at? I can't remember. It was before they got to...
Rogerson?
It could have been. Yeah, I think it was.
Grandpa said he herded cattle from Jarbidge to Rogerson.
Anyway, they herded these wild horses down to Jarbidge, the ranch where they were to take them to. And, 4X, 4-6, I don't know. One of the big ranches down in Jarbidge, Nevada. They were to go down there so they could break them to mow hay. It was about haying time, and the guy hired them to run the mower and the dump brake. So they hooked these wild horses up. They'd never been hooked up before to these pieces of machinery. And they'd go out in the field, and the horses would run away with them, throw them off. They'd get up, and the horses would be standing there waiting for them to get up so you could throw them off again. Bruised themselves all up and breaking wild horses. Anyway, they come fall, and they didn't have any more work to do. Lyle said, so let's go spend the winter with Ben. We'll have a good time to spend the winter with Ben. There's little odd jobs we can find there to buy some beer money. And beer money they meant. And big beer. We used to drink those ponies. Have you ever seen them, what they call ponies? They're a big metal, like a
bucket?
Hmm?
Like a bucket of beer?
Oh, bigger than that. I think they hold 15 gallon.
Holy cow.
I think that's what it is. Or maybe it's just
What's
10
that, a
gallon.
week's worth of wages?
Hmm?
They cost you a week's worth of wages?
That's where the wages went. The rest of the time they used their thumb to travel. And, well, you wouldn't spend any money to travel. You just use your thumb. And money was for buying beer and beer only. Anyway, that's how Grandpa met Lyle. They went up to Twin Falls and asked Ben if they could spend the winter with him. Oh, well, hell yes. We'll play cards and we'll do this and we'll do that. And Ben was not a drinker. He did not ever drink very much. If he drank a glass of beer, he was drunk. Yeah. And both these boys had drank enough that they could hold a pony. At least however he could. Anyway, they spent the winter. They'd go out and pitch hay to cows or feed goats or something every morning to buy enough beer to go so they'd go to town and drink all night. And they'd drink till their money was gone. And they'd hitchhike back out to Ben's, the old thumb method, and crawl on I don't know what Ben had, probably a straw bed, because we never owned a mattress when we were kids, never. We had corn shuck mattresses, we had hay mattresses, we had just plain old straw mattresses. The hunk of straw would come up through,
Itchy.
work through and poke you, and
Oh, man.
you'd get a hold of it and jerk it out and throw it on the floor.
Oh, Grandma.
Well, that's true.
I believe you. I believe you.
Uncle Seth always got the corn shucks, and if we didn't have enough corn shucks, us kids didn't. We had to use.
You got to
hay
get
or,
stuck with the straw.
We had our choice. We could go get leaves, but leaves broke up so bad that you could only get a couple of nights in a bed of leaves. So we usually took hay or straw or something for our beds. Anyway, Lyle went back to Nevada, and he wanted Harvey to go with him. And Harvey said, well, he thought he'd go join the service, make more money that way. So he went to study about what branch of the service to get in. And he discovered that they paid better if you went into the
Merchant Marines.
So he decided to go to Merchant Marines. And they took him as a cook. He never cooked anything in his life. But he went in as a cook. And had a beautiful hat that he wore, white, snow white, looked like a captain's cat, and had a big C in the center. And I think that's a picture of him in his, no, that's a Marine Corps, isn't it? Yeah, that's in the Marine Corps. Anyway, he went to the Merchant Marines, which meant 6 weeks training down at, where the prison is now. Island, what is it?
Oh,
It's where the prison is.
yeah.
Where they made a prison out of it.
It's, what's that called? Does it start with an A-L?
It was a beautiful island. But that's where he took his training.
Alcatraz. Yeah.
And the pictures of Harvey in Alcatraz. Alcatraz was a beautiful place to be.
Before they made it into a prison.
That's where the merchant marines were trained.
Okay.
And one of his training sessions, he threw 5 gallons of gas out in the ocean and lit a fire, and these fellows had to swim through it.
Oh my gosh.
And that was their swimming training.
Oh my gosh.
But he made it.
Wow.
They said his hair got a little shorter.
Grandpa. He was a character.
Anyway, before he went to the merchant seaman, when he got his call to go to be in the merchant seaman, he was at Ben's, and I happened to go out there to get Ben to sign a paper that he would be my guardian until my birthday, so I could go to school in Twin Falls. And he said, Harvey, somebody was going to pick him up, and they come by it to pick him up, and Harvey went out to get in the car to go, and then pretty soon he walked up the door, and he says, hey, you come here, I want to talk to you a minute.
He was talking to you?
Yeah. So I went out there. He says, let me have my first kiss.
He said that to you? Oh my gosh.
I had my first kiss beside a Model A.
How old were you, Grandma?
Hmm?
How old were you?
17.
Well, you're old enough to kiss, I guess. By a Model A Ford?
Beside a Model A Ford.
Was that what he was driving?
No, that was Ben's car.
That was Ben's car.
He didn't have a car.
He had a thumb.
You think he's
He just walked right up to you? He hadn't met you before?
Oh, yeah. Well,
You'd met each other.
Met each other with Ben. Anyway, he was gone for 6 weeks, training time. And he was back. And he called up where I worked, not where I lived, but where I worked. He called up and said, hey, I'm in town. How about seeing me? And I said, yeah, okay. He said, I'll be by and pick you up and we'll go dancing tonight. This was apparently a Friday night. I don't remember. Must have been because I was working.
Where were you working, Grandma?
I was working in an ice cream store.
I told the girls that you used to sell ice cream downtown in Twin Falls. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we were in downtown
It
recently.
wasn't downtown. It was just as you leave town. This ice cream store was on, as you left town on...
Headed toward Buell?
No, the other direction, heading toward Kimberly.
Okay.
It was on, not Falls Avenue, but...
Kimberly?
Mm-mm.
Filer?
No, it's the next one.
Elizabeth?
No, Andreessen.
You're thinking of Vancouver. Andreessen
No.
was in Vancouver.
And so was it, the big school, the schoolhouse that I went to was on Andreessen. It was Washington School, and the school was on a triangle thing, like this, the school was built in here.
Okay.
This is Blue Lakes, and this was, I think it was Andreessen, I don't know, and something.
Oh. What's the road we come in on Highway 30? What is that road called? It starts with an A. That's got to be it.
Are you talking about the one that we used to take or the one that we take now?
The one that, when we come in on Highway 30 and we go out to D&B Supply, what's that road?
Yeah, it goes right through Filer.
Uh-huh. What is that road? That's the one you're thinking of, I think.
No, Filer was there, but we didn't ever use it. It was just a...
Not the road, Filer. You come from Filer, Highway 30. You take it into town.
Twin Falls. Come from Falls Avenue going downtown Twin Falls. And there...
Oh, there's Shoshone. That's right on a triangle. Shoshone.
Well, it's probably
Blue
so
Lakes.
now, but it wasn't then.
Okay, that's got to be the spot. That's a
Okay,
triangle.
okay, yeah.
She's right. That's a triangle right there. And that used to be an ice cream shop on the triangle tip?
No. The ice cream store was before you, it's just going out of town.
Okay.
But I think it was on one of the main streets in Twin Falls, downtown. It may have been Main Street even.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he came in town, didn't tell me he was coming. He was down. Come by, and here he was in this white hat, and walking in a black suit. And
Looking handsome.
Expected me to know who he was. I'd seen him in a white shirt and a Levi's, all I'd ever seen him wear. He never said anything to Lon. He threw it away and bought another white shirt and a pair of new Levi's. That was changing your clothes. But anyway, my cousin Lyle, who was supposed to have been my friend, told Harvey a bunch of lies about me shacking up with sailors. And so Harvey wouldn't even talk to me.
They were probably trying to protect you.
No, he wasn't. He was trying to keep Harvey from wanting to be with me.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't get to go with us.
Oh, he didn't want to
Anyway,
lose his
How I
buddy.
really met Harvey was, you've seen that picture at Aunt Ellen, or Aunt Nita's, I'm sure. It's a picture of Benny, Ellen, and I'm in a black dress with a lace-top black dress. I had an appointment for dental. I had 4 teeth that had to be fixed. I had an appointment for dental things, so I had called Ben and told him I was going to be in Twin Falls that day, and my dad sent us money to have a picture taken. Could he make arrangements with Ellen to be there? And after I get my teeth fixed, we'll go get our picture taken and send to our dad. Well, Ben says, yeah, that'd be a good idea. He said, Dad sent the money for it? And I said, yes. And he says, well, how'd you get that out of that old son of a bitch? He didn't have much use for his father. Anyway, we went, that was the day I met Harvey. The day we had the picture taken. And he came to town with Benny and Ellen to hold Bonnie Lee while we had our picture taken. And he was standing by the Idaho, what was it, Idaho department store. It was on the corner of the street. I don't know what street it was, but yeah, I don't. This dentist was upstairs above the door, and he was there. So he went with us to have our picture taken, and that was all there was to it. We just had our picture taken, and I went with Aunt Velma, and Ben and Ellen took Harvey and went home, and the baby. Bonnie Lou was just probably 6 months old, and Ben said to Aunt Velma, he says, I'm going to take Nita swimming on Easter. We're going to Banbury. She says, well, I don't know about letting her go. And Ben said, let her go? Hell, I'm taking her. And Aunt Velma said, no, you're not. If you have that kind of an attitude, you're not taking her anywhere. Ben says, you wait and see. He says, my sister's going with me on Easter. You've had her all this time. Now let me have my sister for one day. He says, nothing's going to happen to her. She's not going to get pregnant in the middle of the day. Ben knew the routine, what she would say.
Yeah.
And anyway, Easter came, and I had bought a pink
Swimsuit?
pantsuit.
Oh, pantsuit.
It was pink, and it had a white blouse that went with it. And
Pretty.
Aunt Velma said, I didn't think you were going to dress up like that to go. Get an some old clothes on. Going to Banbury, not to a dance or something. I don't know what she called it, but anyway.
Did you know Grandpa was going to be there?
Huh?
Did you know Grandpa was going to be there?
Well, she said, Now, Ben told me there was going to be him and you and Ellen, that we're going to have a picnic down in Banbury. And that better be all that's going to be there. But when they come to pick me up, I don't know whose car it was, but Delmer Malone was there, Lyle was there, Harvey was there, Ellen was there, and Harvey was there in this little car. And Aunt Velma came in and said, "Get those clothes off, you're not going anywhere."
Because there's a bunch of boys in the car.
At that time, my brother walked in her kitchen.
Who?
My brother walked into her kitchen. And he said, "You sit your ass down right there, old lady. I'm taking my sister with me." I was scared to come back.
Ah!
I was scared to death to come back. And so Harvey says, "Well, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you." Got to Banbury and everybody getting out and getting their swimming suits and all that, and I didn't even have a swimming suit. So Harvey said, "Well, we can rent you one." And I said, "I don't know how to swim. I don't even know how to walk in water." He says, "Well, let you and I sit in the car then." That's what I met Harvey. Wow, did I meet Harvey?
Wow.
Got back to Aunt Velma's, and they let me out, and I went in the house and expected the whole house to blow up when I walked in, but it didn't. I was invited to come sit down and have dinner with them, and I did. I still expected the house to blow up.
And you were 17?
I was, yeah,
17.
just was 17.
Just.
From December to whenever Easter was, probably
Yeah.
4 months. And Aunt Velma said, they never said, I think Uncle Howard had said, "Leave her alone." Because he and I got along wonderfully.
Yeah.
And she was mean to me. Like, when I come home from the hospital with my just had my appendix out, laid in a bed for 10 days. They didn't let you get up and walk or anything in those days. She made me get up and do dishes. Whole stack of them. Lunch dishes and dinner dishes from hired men to her family. And I wasn't capable of doing it. I just wasn't. I was too weak. I had no energy. I looked at that pile of dishes and collapsed.
Oh, man.
She got mad. "Get up out of there and get these dishes done." So I stood up the best I could and did the dishes. And I thought to myself, well, this old girl ain't going to be here next year. I'll find me some place to live before I live here another year. And I did. I went to school and I asked, I had a friend that still was in Twin Falls School at the time. And when we were little kids, she always took me home to lunch, or not always, but occasionally she'd take me home to lunch. And her mom was always happy to see me. And I thought, I'll go to her house and find out. And she always hired school kids to help her with her work. So I thought, oh, that's an idea. Maybe she still needs somebody. So I went to see if she needed somebody, and she said, "No, but I think we can probably get you a job through the school. You don't have to worry about it." He said, they always have people wanting live-in school kids. So she sent me to the school, and she sent a note with me to the secretary. And the secretary said, "Well, do you know how to cook?" And I said, "Well, I've been cooking for a bunch of men." I said, "I know how to cook like that, the way men eat." And she says, "Well, you know how to make oatmeal?" I said, "Oh boy, do I know how to make oatmeal." I could even make cream of wheat.
Tell us about your grandma, the Grandma Tannehill. What was she like?
What was she like? She was a sweet little old lady. Don't remember a whole lot about Grandma Tannehill, other than that she never let anybody correct me.
But she walked with a chair, didn't she?
Mm-hmm. She had a kitchen chair, what we call the kitchen chair, and she took a hold of the back of it and pushed it forward, and then she'd take a step, and then she pushed the chair forward.
So she used it like a walker.
Mm-hmm.
Did she have gout too?
I don't know whether she did or not. She had a broken hip,
Oh, she had a broken
and they
hip.
never fixed it.
What? How did she break her hip?
She fell.
Oh my.
It was in her late years, in her late 70s, that she fell and broke her hip. And they never done anything for hips in those days. And she got so she could walk on her own with the walker, I mean, with the chair. And she had Ellen and I. She taught us how to cook. She sat in the chair and she said, "Now get this and put it here." And she'd have a chair set beside her, like when we learned to make bread. She said, "Set it here. Now get five big cups of flour and put it in there." And then she'd say, "Get 2 cups of warm water out of the tea kettle and put it, and we'll fix this, make bread." So we got the water from the tea kettle, and she said, "Now we'll put the yeast in there. We'll put a little flour and stir it up." So that's what we did. We put some salt and some sugar in it, and then stirred it with a spoon. She never let us do it with our hand. But we would set it on the back of the stove, and it sat there all night. That's how you did bread in those days. It took all night to make the yeast work good enough. And then the next day we'd put flour on it and knead it down. Grandma would pinch it every once in a while and tell us we need more flour over here, we need more flour over here.
Did she even use a recipe, or it was all in her head?
It was all in her head.
Wow.
She's
What'd she bake in? What kind of oven did she have?
old wood stove. That's all we've ever cooked on is an
Yeah.
old wood stove. Baked bread. Did everything in it.
What was her house like?
Hmm?
What was her house like? What do you remember?
What it was a house like?
Mm-hmm.
Well, see that porch where Grandma's sitting in front, Grandma Tannehill sitting in front of that porch?
Mm-hmm.
That was the front porch, and it was the full length of the house, or well, 3/4 of the length of the house, and there was a straight wall went clear back
Mm-hmm.
to the back end. Consisted of Uncle Seth's bedroom, the kitchen, and the long room. We called it the long room. It held 2 bed. Could make it split it in half and have 2 bedrooms. Well, it was our living room, our bedrooms, and whatever else you wanted to call it, family room. And
Did she have a wood floor? Did she have a wood floor?
planks,
Wow.
nothing else.
Did
But her
her husband build it?
I think it was there when they bought the place.
Okay.
I think it was. They just did some repair things on it, I think. I don't know that for sure.
Do you know where it was located?
Yeah, on Twin Falls, Idaho. Twin Falls Street. Was it street? What was Avenue? Twin Falls Avenue. You went out from Blue Lakes, turned onto Twin Falls, went the first mile, and then you could turn down and go what now is the mall. But the next little 1/4 mile was another street that went through there. We called that Dead Horse Denton Street. And we lived up on the corner of Dead Horse Denton Street. Our property started. There was a nice orchard there, and then I had 3 acres, Ellen had 3 acres, and Ben had 3 acres. And then Uncle Mike and Aunt Annie had 3 acres. That was along Dead Horse Road. And the house set up on Falls Avenue. And when Grandma and Grandpa both died, they sold it. They let Uncle Seth farm it 1 year. And then they sold it and left him with nothing. And it was an old house. It was what nowadays would be a shack.
Mm-hmm.
But in those days, it was a pretty nice house.
Yeah.
Not too many people had any better. There were a few. There was one across the street that way, and one across the street that way, and one up the street that way that was pretty nice houses. And one on the other street, the one that we called Dead Horse, and the reason we called him Dead Horse, he picked up all the dead horses and fed them to pigs.
Oh, geez. Who did?
Oh, Dead Horse Denton.
Oh, Dead Horse Denton was his name, huh?
Well, his name was Denton, but we called him Dead Horse because he picked up all the dead animals he could find to feed his pigs. They had pigs all over the place. And when he needed a pig to sell, he'd go out and snatch one's leg out from under it and sell a pig.
Wow.
That's how he made his living.
Yeah.
And yet, the pigs were wild as hell. They were fenced in,
Uh-huh.
and he kept them fenced in. He never let them run wild, but they ran wild on his property, and they had tunnels dug under it, and they had... but he and Uncle Seth fought a lot about the water. He was mean about changing the water on Uncle Seth. The water went through Uncle Seth's. His water went through Uncle Seth's property, and Uncle Seth had water rights off of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, old Denton would go up in the night and turn the head gate to him. And Uncle Seth wouldn't have any, think he was watering his beans, and here he was,
Drying them up.
nothing was getting watered.
Oh, boy.
So one morning, Grandma hollered, "Don't you dare, Seth. Don't you do that, Seth." He had a shovel in his hand. He was going to kill old Denton.
Uh-oh.
So when Denton came up, he threw the shovel across the fence and knocked him flat of his butt with his fist. And he come to the house, and he had a cut knuckle. And he said, "I'll bet that son of a bitch don't steal any more water from me." And I don't know whether he ever did or not, but shortly after that, Grandma passed away. Us kids went to the field to pick strawberries. The strawberries were ripe, first of June. And Grandma sent all three of us out to pick strawberries. So we found this great, huge, big strawberry, which we never had. You know, they
They
were
didn't
little
have them back
strawberries.
then, yeah.
But we found this great big one, and we saved it to put on the top of the flat. And we got it home, and Grandma said, "I want that strawberry." So we said okay and gave it to her, and she took one bite and died.
Oh. Well, at least she died happy with that strawberry.
Yeah, she got what she
Well,
wanted.
she actually had a stroke,
Oh.
or something, we don't know what, but a big knot raised up on her left side like that off her neck. And they had the doctor come out, and she couldn't speak or anything. We had the doctor come out, and he said we had called that Velma, and she came before the doctor did. And the doctor said that Velma, put her to bed and let her rest. She'll never wake up again. He said, in the morning she'll be passed out, or she'll be gone. And you wipe her mouth out with lemon. I'll never forget, I was standing there thinking, looking up at them while they were saying what to do with her. Because she was my loving treasure grandma, and nobody was going to do anything to hurt her. And the doctor said, "You better go out, little girl." And I said, "She's my grandma, I'm not leaving." But that's what he said to do, was wipe her mouth out with lemon. And I always figured that's what killed her. In my subconscious childhood mind, I thought he killed my grandma, but it was actually that big strawberry that did it.
You really think so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all three of us thought that's what killed our grandma. And we loved her. God, we loved that woman. Even though we were little kids. She was something very, very special.
Does the smell of baking bread remind you of her? Does the smell of baking bread remind you of her?
That's why I like bread.
Yeah.
That's why I like making bread. And it's really got me. Oh, this place is killing me. It really is. That's my casket up there, Phil.
Tell me about when you guys lived in Vancouver and you had chickens, right? Didn't you guys have chickens in Hawkinson?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell me about raising chickens.
And that's when we moved to Hawkinson from Portland, hon.
Okay.
Grandpa was working for Swift and Company. Look at that big bird stealing bird seed. Get out of there. You don't belong in there. That ain't for you. My little birds. Anyway, yeah, we lived in Portland. We moved to Vancouver. The toll bridge was still on. You had to pay 15 cents across the bridge both ways.
Where was the toll bridge? Is that the I-5 bridge?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Harvey said, I think we can make better.
Addison.
Huh?
The name of that road is Addison.
Yeah.
It's not Andreessen, it's Addison.
Yeah.
I finally figured it out.
Yeah.
Do you have a nail clipper? I have a little thing here that's bugging me.
I don't know that. You can
What
look
do
in
you
my
got, a
purse.
hangnail?
Look in my
Yeah,
purse,
it's-
Artie.
Okay.
In the little baggie that I keep all kinds of toiletries in.
You wake your baby up.
Are you feeling better?